Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Antz. So we are once again back in the amazing world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there's about 1,000 things I want to see in the game, but on the first video a couple of people commented and asked to specifically see some things that they want to see in the game, specifically where they live. So Yo Alvin asked to see Torbay, which is this little area just over here, which is where Torquay and Paynton are. And I Dare You wanted to see Barnstable and North Devon, which North Devon is sort of just roughly about that sort of coastline, and that airfield there is roughly where Barnstable is. I think Barnstable probably that slightly darker blob over there. So we're going to go and see both of those places today. We're going to start off with Torbay down here. Now there's no particularly close airport, but there is this airport down here. So we're going to go from here. Now what I wanted to do, we set that as a zoomed details. Oh, hello. That's weird. We're going to set that as a departure. And what I want to do is say gate parking. Now, usually on the other airports, if we pick Plymouth for a second, for example, and say set as departure, you have different gate parking options and it'll start you in those areas. What I want to do is show you the startup procedure. So I don't know what happens if there aren't any gates or anything, or parking areas, and you say gate parking. Don't know what's going to happen there. We'll find out though, shall we? It's changed because I scrolled. There we go. And then, no, see, it's changed again because there is no parking area. So what we'll do is when we do Barnstable, we'll show you the startup procedure then. For this one, we'll just be starting. And we'll set a custom arrival of around here. What I would very much like to be able to figure out, I haven't been able to do it yet. So if we say set as arrival, our arrival is 1,600 feet in the air. So I can't find a way of saying at the arrival area, arrive at 0 feet or arrive at 20,000 feet. I can't figure out that. So if anyone has any suggestions on that, you'd have thought you just click there, but nope. And then, hold up. Oh no, so that is our arrival location. But it says our arrival location is 1,700 feet still, look. It hasn't for some reason picked up that this arrival height should be anything other than that. And we can't move or change anything in here anyway. No, so you can change your cruise altitude if you so wished. We don't really want to do that. So yeah, so if anyone has any ideas on that, do let me know. I'll be interested to know. Right. So we're just going to hit fly. Oh, one thing I should say is the plane I have chosen for this is the Icon A5. It is the one amphibious plane that is available in the game, so it can land and take off from water. So if we happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we happen to crash into the water again, like we may have done last time, we should be okay to take off again. It is a little slower, but it also has this really interesting looking modern cockpit, so we're going to take a look at that. So let's hit fly. And as you can see, pretty cloudy, murky day in Devon apparently. Oh, it's just a grass airstrip, look. So that's why there's nowhere to park. So if we just hit ready to fly. Yeah, look how fancy this is, look. A little bit of jerkiness there. So the graphics options are still on Ultra. We're going to see how it goes today. So far it looks okay. I did try dropping the resolution in game down to 1080, but it looks so bad on my 1440p monitor. So what I might do if we have issues again is either drop down to very high graphics, or I might set my monitor to be at 1080 and just record, because I only upload to YouTube in 1080 anyway. I record the 1440 downscale because it would just make things just look a fraction bit crisper. So look at how fancy. There's nowhere near as many buttons as you normally have in a plane, but that's pretty fancy. That's pretty fancy. So I have changed a few of the control options. I'm not going to go into details on many of them at all. All I really want to show you is if we go to the rudder pedals. I didn't notice this sensitivity button before, but within here you can set a dead zone and you can set sensitivity. So I've dropped the sensitivity of the foot pedals down, so they are more of a controlled curve. So at the bottom there, bit easier just to have sensitive movements, and at the top obviously you don't care so much, just whack it into full lock. But yeah, so that's very interesting. And like I say, I've mapped a few other controls, but nothing at all worth writing home about. Nothing you guys really need to know about, I suppose. I have also moved the mouse into the middle of the screen, middle of my desk, in between the joystick and the throttle, so I should be able to do the controls whilst using the joystick. You can see the joystick moving there, so I can move around whilst using the joystick, which should help a little bit. I also have set up the joystick hat so I can move around like that, and a reset option as well. Same for the back, we can do the same thing, spin around quite easily using the joystick rather than the mouse, which might be a nicer way of doing it. So you can see why there was nowhere to park or taxi to here, can't you? Right, so if we recenter our view, we need to disengage the parking brake. Now I've changed all of these, so I think this is the parking brake, isn't it? Yeah, so that should be the parking brake. In fact, no, we'll put the parking brake on. And then we will increase our throttle to give us a nice running start. Go. And it looks like we are facing directly... Ooh, ooh. Looks like we're facing directly west, so we are going to need to turn around. So on my pedals, do that when I need to park? I was just looking at it, but when they are centered, I might have to get a bit of a better look there. Maybe it's just windy. Maybe that's why I am rotated in that manner, because I don't think it's my rudder necessarily. No, because that's how much we have to turn to try and center ourselves. Anyway, retract flaps. I had a flaps button. There we go. Perfect. And now we need to turn our... I mean, again, every time I see the game, it just looks spectacular. So I think we're heading roughly in this direction. That looks about right, doesn't it? We head pretty much straight east. I will probably... Yeah, it's definitely wind, because you can see the plane's now veering in the opposite direction. I have set up a whole bunch of rudder trims and stuff, but I'm not too worried about them at the moment, to be honest. I'll probably just try winging it. I'm going to leave the cloud as it is for now so we can see what it looks like. I like this aircraft. It's a bit slow, but it's kind of nimble. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, you can really see it fighting against the wind, look. That's crazy. Oh, we've broken the cloud cover. Look at that amazing Devon countryside. Ah, spectacular. God bless you, Devon. God bless you. So we've come on probably a little bit too far. So we'll go this way just a little bit. I have set those two to a button as well, the altimeter and the head-in as well. Don't really know what they do, to be honest, but every time that message pops up, I'll just click something to make it go away. I'm a little hesitant to completely turn off all... What's the word I'm looking for? All tooltips. Because I'm a noob. Oh, we can see our shadow down there, look. Just disappeared behind that AOA bar. So here is the coast coming up. Not as long as I thought it might take me to get there, to be honest. I don't know. That looks like that might be more... Where's my mouse? Can we zoom out on this map? We can, can't we? I was going to say it looks more like Exmouth, but no, that's up there. So no, we do need to... with this little natural harbour point here is the Torbay area. So we'll swing ourselves over in this direction. That looks like we should be just about fine. Now let's turn that off for now. Oh my word, look at that. If it wasn't for the HUD, that is literally photorealistic. Actually, let's have a quick look at the controls using the wrong mouse. I have too many mice and keyboards on my desk, it's confusing to me. There must be a way to turn off the HUD, right? Camera. Instrument views? No, that's not what I want. If I just search for... no, that was a bad start. Search for HUD. Nope. Display? Display map, display nav loss? No. There must be a way to turn off the HUD. So it'd be under camera. Not cockpit, not drone. External camera? Can't see anything there. Maybe the drone camera doesn't have the... Yeah, the drone camera isn't going to have the HUD, so that's what you should be using for that. So the drone camera is exactly what it sounds like. Rather than a camera being fixed around the plane, which the external camera is, the drone camera is it's a drone camera. It's a camera you can control and move basically wherever you want. So it isn't necessarily locked to the aircraft. Insert. Shall I set a button for the drone camera? What sort of switches do I have free? All sorts of things, really. But maybe we'll just use insert for now. Let's just do that. If we just hit insert briefly. Well, there's the drone camera. We can't move it around at all. We can see the HUD has completely disappeared, which is exactly what we wanted. Well, maybe I'll play around with the drone camera in a little bit and figure out the controls for that a bit more, because that's how you're going to get some really nice screenshots and stuff, isn't it? So I don't know what river this is here. I see, now I go back to using my left hand for the joysticks. I'm trying to use my laptop to look at stuff on the other side. I'm trying to figure out, is it Dartmouth? That's the River Dart we're just going over there. That is the River Dart. As you can see, a spectacularly beautiful part of the world. So that there would be Dartmouth. Let's have a little squiz over Dartmouth, shall we? It's very nice having rudder pedals, but I tell you what, I forget they're there most of the time, and my joystick twists, which was the original rudder option for controls. I just try to keep using that. It's been so long since I actually played anything which required a rudder. It would have been Elite Dangerous, and I'm going back a couple of years till I really properly played that. I still can't get used to using the pedals. So a very quick flyover of Dartmouth. Beautiful, beautiful. And the sun's come out for us as well, which I really wasn't expecting. So just checking where we are, yes, we can just cut across this little bit of land here. Now, I don't know these areas particularly well. I have been to the Torbay sort of area a few times. Barnstable is where I bought my pram and car seat set for my baby. So I travelled there a couple of times for that, but literally went to the shop to buy the pram, and McDonald's I think we went to as well, and that was about the extent of what we did in Barnstaple. But I've been to a few of the beaches and the such, like up in the north of Devon. Some beautiful coastline up there. So that there, that'll be Brixham we are heading towards, not what we're flying over. I'm not sure what we're flying over. Where are we? No, it's not quite come up on my map on the screen, but I think that's going to be Brixham over here. So we'll do a scoot of Brixham, and then we'll fly up over the coast towards Paignton and Torquay. Now, Paignton and Torquay are two separate towns, but to the best of my knowledge, they're basically one large urban area. I don't think there's much green space that actually separates them. Let's do a bit of a low flyover of Brixham then. So if you are from this area, you're probably starting to recognise a few of the roads and, I'd say, landmarks. I wouldn't say I could necessarily say any landmarks apart from that pier that comes out at the end there on Berry Head. He says, trying to sound knowledgeable, but actually just has Google Maps up on the other screen. Oh yes, that's me. Got some interesting little islands over here. I wonder if there are lots of playing fields at this point as well, aren't there? So what are these then, I wonder? Are they little islands? It looks like little islands, doesn't it? Yeah, some trees on them, look. That's cool. Oh, just a random bunch of houses just there. Get some nice views from there, I bet. And that, I assume, is a hotel. And there's a big car park there we've just passed on our left. And probably military stuff up this end, if I had to guess. That's what you sort of expect to find, isn't it? So if we swing around this sort of peninsula then, start heading up a little bit more, not too much, just enough to get a little bit of height, and watch our airspeed drop as it struggles to climb all that much. So that pier, or breakwater, Is it me or can you see the waves breaking on it? Or is that I think that is just the satellite imagery, isn't it? Yeah. Just works very well and it's matched together like that. And there's a little dock just at the end there, but that happens to be underwater. So maybe don't use that dock. So over there then, just sort of above the centre of my plane, you can see again, there is a, where's the weather? Does the weather tell us what the wind speed is? Oh no, it's just live. I wish the live weather told you what it actually was. Or that there was some HUD indicator of wind speed. That'd be quite nice as well. I'm just looking around and making sure I haven't missed anything. Because maybe there is something, but I can't see anything. So this must be coming up towards the edge of painting. All this here then must be painting. So let's come inland a bit so we can sort of swing up north through painting. And then Torquay is at the north edge of the natural harbour. That sort of C-shaped bit of land. And that'd be the River Dart in the background there. Just looking spectacular. Looking spectacular. And some low cloud hanging over painting there, look. So I'll go in a little low again here, not too low, because one, we know that we're in danger of crashing. Two, there's not much I can point out to you because I don't know the area at all. But I want to be low enough so that, who was it that asked for Torbay? It was Yo Alvin. So that Yo Alvin could actually recognise some points. Let's pop into the plane briefly, shall we? Now there are some ways you can zoom in and out. Let's just pause the game a second and I'll have to try and maybe, because I have some spare hats on my throttle. So maybe I'll map the zooms and the translations to those. But for now, cockpit camera. Right, alt and down. Oh, it could be a little bit awkward. Can I not just use the mouse to zoom? Hang on. Can I not just use the mouse to just scroll in and out? Of course you can, you clown. There we go. No other seats in this plane? No, it's a very small plane, isn't it? Oh, we are going way too up. Way too upwards. Official terminology. Let's pop outside again because it's where you get the best view of the landscape, isn't it? So you can see what I mean. So sort of towards the right from my right wingtip is Paynton, is Torquay. And you can see that they are basically just one urban mass. Let's go over the beach here. This is what Torquay and Paynton are most famous for, their coastlines. The English Riviera is how they are referred to. You can make your own judgment calls as to whether that's accurate or not, but that is how they are advertised to the rest of the world. So when you do go there, you do find there are lots of palm trees and stuff around where they're like, this is the English Riviera. Rivera. What am I? This is fancy English, please. I just love the ability to speak. Riviera. There we go. Yeah, trying to fool you into thinking that even though it's raining and the skies are very dark, and it's about 14 degrees, this is still a very fancy place to be. So this here will be sort of the central Torquay sort of area. Then again, you can see it's very coastal orientated, a big harbour here. You can see the docks just floating nicely underwater. Lots of hotels and the such, like, and quite hilly as well, I think. Looks it, doesn't it? I know one of them is, one out of Paynton and Torquay. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm not going to head too much further inland, but I do just want to get a little bit of a higher view. Maybe that if we do, oh no, what I want to do, because we'll do a different plane on the next one when we do Barnstaple. So let's head to the ocean. Is this the closest ocean to us? And have I still got my gear down? Yep. Should have had that up a long while ago. Okay. Let's try and do a sea landing. Now, it is quite windy. Flaps down. It occurred to me today as well that my mic used to be on a boom arm that was attached to my desk. I've got rid of that to try and save a bit of space and make it a bit easier, so it's now just on a stand on the desk itself, which is great for me. It makes it much more maneuverable, makes it easier to move around and put where I need it. But it occurs to me it is right next to my joystick, the mouse and the throttle, so you are probably hearing a little bit more noise than you normally would, so apologies for that. So it's going to wait for our airspeed to drop significantly. There's not too much crosswind here, which is nice. The seas are a little choppy, but not horrendously. Let's go, I was going to say let's go inside for this, but it's very difficult to see what's going on here, isn't it? So our airspeed is getting pretty low, enough that if we dip our nose, we are increasing our speed. We are still going down. I'd say we're still probably a little fast. Oh, my throttle's not all the way down. That doesn't help. We are, I mean, how close are we to the ocean right now? We're just clipping the waves is what we're doing. And it looks like I'll put the brake on, but I don't think the brake's going to do all that much, is it? Now, I don't know. I think you have to manually put it out. As you can see, my rudder isn't doing a vast amount here. But there is. Maybe we could be able to see it from inside. There is a control. Water rudder. There it is. Boop. So I don't know if we can see the water rudder. But essentially it extends. Is this it at the back here? It extends an additional rudder out, yeah, so you can control the plane in the water, which seems fairly obvious. You can see the seas are fairly rough here, and the water physics aren't perfect. You can see that the waves are just coming over the plane. I was wondering if it would go over the windshield, but not quite. But it's not quite, and like our tail is just disappearing into the ocean there, but not many amphibious planes in the game, I guess. So we'll have a quick go at a takeoff. Probably need to put our flaps up a single notch. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's on the water. It does feel like it is just floating on the air. Hopefully that's something that they can work on a little bit, particularly if they bring more amphibious planes into the game. Yeah, lovely smooth takeoff. Bring our flaps up. Gears already. What did I just do then? What does that one do? I think I just put the parking brake on. That's not a problem. And we still have our... You can see the rudder there, can't you? That little black spike that's at the tail of the plane. Right. So now we need to go and visit Barnstable, don't we? So I'll be right back. So here we are in Chivanor. So you normally would be seeing the plane taxiing around at this point, but you can see this does have parking locations, and we are in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk today, so there's no gear again for us to worry about like the previous video. The reason I wanted to bring you into the park spot, as I say, is I want to run you through the actual startup procedure option. So the plane is completely dead. I do have a button on my joystick, which is the auto start button. I can just click that and it'll all power up automatically for me. You can, if you know what you're doing, go and flick all the things you need to do to start up the plane. I noticed that one of the Airbus planes, I think it's the Neo, there's an achievement for starting the plane up without using any assistance. So maybe that shows you sort of how awkward those things can be. But to assist you with that sort of thing, so that's my quick start button. Over here we have a checklist, which are all the things you need to do before various activities. So a pre-flight inspection we can look at. We probably don't need to worry about this too much. That's basically just checking that everything's off. I don't really care about that so much. Before starting the engine, what do you need to do? So you need to do all of these things, and what you can do is you can hit autocomplete item or autocomplete page, so it'll just do it all. Essentially AI will take over for you. But you can hit evaluation, and what evaluation will do, I'll just say that we did the pre-flight inspection, and we'll just say that that has been done, is it will zoom you in to show you where the components are. So here it's just going, it's just saying everything's been done, all this is actually off, the avionics are off, the fuel selector is on both, the fuel shut-off valve is on open, so it's nothing too much interesting for us to see there. It does just skip through them because nothing needs to happen. But if we go to the start in engine page and say evaluation, so now it's saying to us, well, now you need to actually do the thing. So the throttle needs to be opened up about 1/4 of an inch. I don't know what that means, so I'm just going to move the throttle forward until it... Oh, it's already done, so we move that back a bit. The mixture needs to be in an idle cutoff state, which apparently it is. I think I just touched the rotary for it there, so I don't actually know if that's in the right place or not. I might try going back to that in a second. The starter battery switch has to be tested and held for 20 seconds. That is over there. So we put that into test. Oh. Hold it for 20 seconds. I'm just going to assume that that's fine, and we're not going to actually wait for the 20 seconds. We're just going to say complete. Well, no, it's automatically. So now it is doing the 20-second test as well. I don't know if there's a way just to say, force finish. Perfect. Boop. Done. Now you need to arm the battery, so you can see stuff is starting to come on now. Check the parameters of the bus evolts, which apparently are fine. This is all going to be on here somewhere. Standby battery, check it is on. Looks on. So we just say tick. Check the propeller area is clear. So, yeah, I mean, there is a guy out there, but he's nowhere near it, so that's fine. The master switch for the battery, which is over on this side again. Be nice if they moved this, depending on if it was obscuring the thing you're trying to do. So, turn both of those on. Wonderful. Turn our lights on. Put our mixture to rich. Now, is this the mixture? Yes. Let's push it all the way in. Yes, that's perfect. So that is off on my rotary. I need to remember that. Fuel pump. On for 3 to 5 seconds and then off. Where's the fuel pump? There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess that's just priming some fuel. Mixture. Put the mixture back to lean. Make sure the feet are ready to brake. They are ready to brake. Well, it doesn't seem like it's quite right there, does it? But we'll just assume that's fine. And then the ignition itself. So now we have to turn a key in this one. Set that to start. Wait for the engine to start and then put the mixture to rich. Well, there's nothing happening at the moment, is there? So it says page complete, but nothing's actually happened. There we go. I think it's probably because I didn't do the mixture fast enough for the engine to do it. So yeah, so that's amazingly useful. Obviously that's quite simple for this plane, even though there's a lot to do, it's quite simple. Imagine you're in a big commercial airline, there's lots of things to do. And then you can go through all these things as well, so if we just very quickly skip through them. So check the throttle. Adjust the throttle to 1000 RPM. I don't know. Oh, too much. I'm trying to very gently move my throttle. Down a little bit. It doesn't really matter. I'm sort of just faffing for the sake of faffing here. There we go. Check the oil pressure. Yeah. Check that, yeah. Check that's off, yeah. And check the flaps are up, yeah. So that's all fine. And after we started the engine, there's the taxi. So taxi lights, landing lights. I do just have a button which turns all of the lights on, which is a little bit over the top, but we're just going to turn all of the lights on. You just saw them all pop on there. The park and brake could do with coming off. I'll put my foot brakes on. On, released, test the brakes, test the rudder. We'll assume that's all fine. And then we're not going to worry too much about the proper ATC kind of takeoff procedure. So what we should probably do here is if we go to ATC, we could tune in... Oh, I thought there'd be a ground one, but obviously not. How do you use... If there isn't... Normally there would be a ground station ATC you could tune into, so you could say, give me a pushback, because I need that guy to push me back, really, but I can't see. So if we just say announce taxi. That's fine. That's fine. So we're taxiing to runway 27. So the park and brake should be off, but my feet brake are on. So if I release the brakes... Yep, there we go. But we are we going to hit that guy? It's very close. I mean, there is no collision damage. That's fine, yep. I know about that. Go away, please. There's probably a speed limit. I don't know what the speed limit is. I also don't know. You can turn on like a taxi path, so you can see the actual route you're supposed to take if you don't know. Obviously, if you were a pilot, you would have maps and all sorts. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go into, use the wrong mouse, we will go into assistance. The assisted checklist is on, yes, that's fine. Navigation aids? Taxi ribbon. Let's turn the taxi ribbon on, so we can actually see where it is we're supposed to go. The rest of it we'll just leave off for now. Apply and save. Resume. Thank you. Oh, so we're actually heading in the right direction. Perfect. So I said I wasn't going to do all of this, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. Probably should put my... would I put my flaps down now, or would I do that later? I also don't know what setting I would use for takeoff. 2? 2, I think. I'm going to go with 2. So where is this taking us? Quite far up there, isn't it? I can't actually see. Is this the runway we're about to cross here? Let's turn the ATC off for a second. It looks like it's taking us up the actual runway. So what we'll do at this point, because it's not a particularly big plane, we will just push the throttle right up. Ignore ATC. Put the flaps down a little bit too late into the takeoff procedure. So I think this is the runway it's probably taken us to up here, look. But that's okay, we're off now, we're off now. Pop into the plane, have a little bit of a look. Beautiful. Don't know what that was saying. So right, Barnstable we are looking for, which is actually right up the end of this little river. What is this river? The River Tor. Oh, wasn't looking. Wasn't looking because I was looking at the map on the other screen. So we'll head straight to Barnstable, and then maybe we'll circle back, because that area... Where are we? So directly west of where we were is quite nice. There's some nice beaches there and stuff, so we'll see how they look in game. So let's pitch up a little bit, nothing too much. And then... So this is probably, what we're seeing now, is probably the outskirts of Barnstable, I would guess. To put on my navigational hat. It's weird, when you zoom, if you look at the houses... like underneath the tail, when you zoom out, they almost look like they stretch because of the fact you're moving and forward and you're zooming out at the same time. So yes, this is definitely going to be Barnstable. I don't know Barnstable, like I say, very much at all. That bridge that we can just see on the left there next to the airspeed indicator, pretty sure I've gone over that bridge. But aside from that, that is pretty much the end of my knowledge of Barnstable. I couldn't even show you where the shop I bought the pram and stuff from was, because we just followed GPS and it just took us there, and we went there twice. It was just GPS the whole way. But this is Barnstable at the north of Devon. I mean, I said this about Torbay area, but North Devon, again, just a spectacularly beautiful place of the world. So I don't know if it's because I'm zoomed in, but some of the buildings have a bit of a weird perspective to them, don't they? Or is that just me? Maybe it's just me. So they look okay there. Yeah, it's almost like a field of view sort of setting, so it almost looks like they're being stretched slightly. Maybe we'll just stick with the default view then. We can easily just pan around, can't we? Do that. Yeah, love it. So that's Barnstable. Should we just do one little circle of Barnstable again? Perhaps from inside the plane. Ooh, fancy. Just so, I dare you it was, wasn't it, who asked to see Barnstable? Hopefully they have seen their house, they have seen their old stomping grounds. And they have seen some landmarks that make sense to them. And we will spin ourselves around. There's the River Tor again. And we'll essentially head back towards... Ah, so my view is centered there, so I was going to say there isn't much wind. Oh no, let's come back again. There we go. Really could do with putting some trim on to stop the plane doing that. I don't know which way. Ah, it's obviously going the wrong way because there's trim on. So let's trim down. Too far. Too far. Can we... Ooh, I mean, I've messed the trim right up, I would say. Can we see in here? Can we see where the trim is? It's normally down by... Oh, there it is, look. Neutral takeoff. Is it now? Is it now? So there's the airport that we left from, Chivanor. And we're just going to head straight past it towards the coast and just see what it's like over there. Which is... Oh, I've had to move that now. Ugh. Had a name. What is it called? Saunton Sands is the big beach just over here. So that straight bit that's sort of just above my left wing there. Yeah, the bit that's above my left wing, that straight bit of coast. All of that there, straight across to the mouth of the Tor, is Saunton Sands. Now I'm guessing these sort of areas won't look all that great, because it's going to be caravans and sort of bespoke built hotels and that sort of thing, and the beach itself is just a beach, and if there's anything on the beach, if there are like beds you can hire or equipment hire, that's all going to look pretty flat and terrible, I would guess. So unfortunately, those sort of unique locations, or locations with a lot of unique aspects, are probably going to look the worst. I don't know what... Oh, this is Braunton we're just going over, I think. Never heard of it before, but there is Braunton. Should we do a nice little low flyover of Braunton? The sun just catching these rivers on the left, which must be a different little waterway of some form. Absolutely beautiful. This is in real time, so it's currently coming up to about 6 PM for me. So this is what North Devon looks like at 6 PM. And beautiful and sunny is what it is. Not so much where I am, which is dark and miserable and has only just stopped raining. I thought, because it's been like that all day, I assumed that the rest of Devon would be the same, but apparently not. Apparently not. So just getting towards the edge of Braunton now. And there is a road here which goes up towards... There's actually a little place up here called Saunton. If we follow this road that's directly underneath me, we can see these cars going. So it should be just as it straightens out over there. So this might be Saunton. This might be everything that Saunton consists of. About 5 houses and a couple of hotels. Oh, there's a couple more houses there. But that's Saunton. That's obviously a very large, prosperous area. And so there you can see that car park on the left there. That'll be for the beach. Maybe. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? The ocean over there, that bit of land over there to our left. The little coastal towns, the raised cliff edges. Beautiful. I don't think I'm ever going to stop saying that about this game. Ooh, lordy. Okay. Ooh. So yeah, there is Saunton Sands. I can guarantee you, I can't guarantee, I would make an assumption that it probably looks a little bit better than that in real life. What we can maybe do to end the video off is we'll try landing on the beach, shall we? So we're definitely going to have to bring our trim. Our trim is crazy. I've messed it up so much. That might be about okay. No, it's going to carry on going up, is it? Honestly, I don't know what's going on with it. It's like it's less to do with the trim and more to do with my airspeed, which is controlling my pitch at the moment. But no matter. We shall start throttling down. We shall put our flaps... What did I just try to do? I think I just tried to put my... Yeah, just to put my gear down. Put our flaps all the way down. Ease the throttle back to about 50%. Completely pull back on the throttle. Now, I have no idea about the correct procedure for landing. I am, as I said, going to be doing the training at some point, which I'll record as well, and I'll probably make a separate sort of side series. It'll be part of the same series, but just have a big title on it saying, you know, tutorials or something. Same as this, because this is going to be this will be classed as part 2. Taxi speed limit exceeded. This will be classed as part 2. Oh, it's got some like grass on the edge of the beach there. I don't know whether that's where it's picked up some seaweed or some rock pools maybe, but the game's obviously seen it and gone, that's grass that, mate. Gonna put grass there. So it'd be nice if they could do beaches a little better, make them look a little bit more beachy, I suppose is the word I'm looking for there. So there we go, park and brake is on, I think. Yep. Awesome. Well, there we go. That was Barnstable and Torbay, 2 incredibly beautiful areas of Devon. No idea exactly what it is I'm going to do next time in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you guys do want to see anything else, do let me know. If I get 2 or 3 people asking to see something else, then I'm not going to take off at that speed, am I? Then I'm happy to take a look at some other locations for you guys if you want to see what your particular area looks like. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, do hit the like button. That is massively, massively appreciated. Subscribe, comment, all those good things as always. Ooh. Get myself confused. Doesn't matter because the video's over. I'm still faffing around. Yes, like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. I will hopefully see you next time in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And as always, thank you very, very much for joining me.